the other phase is the anal phase, which means when the child starts realizing the pleasure to evacuate the feces. So when people, or when children, they start even playing with the feces. Mm-hmm. And in this time, during 2 to 4 years old, they become more aggressive. This is the anal sadistic kind of pleasure. The third phase is the genital phase, when children discover the genital pleasure. And they start having friends and realizing that there is another sex. So this genital phase brings then the sexual attachment.
Right.
Now, applying this to adults, the oral phase corresponds to a more primitive kind of personality, more dependent, people who speak too much, who drink too much, who smoke, who take drugs.
Who love their cell phones.
Yes. Love speaking and doing intrigues, whatever, using the mouth.
Right.
And eating.
Right.
Or any of this, the things that involve the mouth and the stomach. And these people are generally very dependent people, inactive. The second phase, the anal phase, is the sadomasochistic phase. So they are more aggressive, and they tend to enjoy aggression. They take pleasure from attacking people and hurting people. And they are attached to money. They are very much money-oriented. Either they are very avaricious. So you find people that are millionaires that have becoming richer and richer and richer,
right.
Or people who spend more than they can,
right.
So they have problems with their credit cards,
right.
bank accounts, or they make too little money. Also, they have a big problem with money. And the third phase, which is the genital, they are very much narcissistic. They are people that tend to have many relationships in life. They change partners a lot, or they have many at the same time. They are very much sexual oriented. They need sexual pleasure. They are narcissistic. Now, what is the phase that those people of the financial power are attached to?
Pretty clear they're stuck in the anal phase, right?
Yes.
The acquisition, to get, to save, to hoard things.
And not only this, but they are very sadistic people.
Yeah.
Sadistic oriented. They not only want money for themselves, but they want to take money from other people and to hurt people by exploiting them, being aggressive, starting wars, creating difficulties for the people, and crashing humanity, as we are witnessing all the time.
Claudia, I just received an email from Michael Moore today, and he was talking about how one of the big discussions in the United States today is that the bankers who've received all this money as a bailout, they can't explain where it's gone. And so I think this is really what a surprise, huh? But this is really evidence of this anal phase. They want to take all the money from the taxpayers of the world, not just of the country, of the world, and then do nothing with it. Give us nothing in return for it, and not even say where it's gone.
Yes. So this is incredibly sick mental problem. This is a psychopathological problem. And in addition, the masses of the people, generally, they are in the oral phase, so they are very dependent. So they want to depend on powerful people. And they let themselves to be crushed by the powerful. As long as they have food, drugs, alcohol,
gasoline
cigars,
for their car. Yeah.
Gasoline for their car sometimes. Very dependent and alienated people. So we need a lot of conscientization. We need a huge sociotherapy so people can understand the true, deeper causes of what we see in society.
Let me just slip in here with this by saying that we've had a couple of podcasts, that one that Claudia and I did and one that one of our teachers down here from Finland, Sadi, did about this exact psychoanalysis of society using these three phases that Claudia's been outlining. So thinking with somebody else's head is where you can find that through iTunes. They're really, really interesting programs. I also want to make sure you understand that our phone lines are open. We are really looking forward to hearing from you with your observations. It could be about the pathology of power, which is a fascinating topic. I tell you, the more you get into this, you see how incredible it is. Or it could be some personal...
Yeah, like dreams or like any physical or personal problem, relationships. Now, I see that you had a question here,
let me give
Richard,
the phone
about
numbers
procrastinating
first. Let me give the phone numbers first, Claudia, so that people have those in their head so they can call as we're waiting. We have a worldwide toll-free phone number. So if you're calling from outside the continental United States, you can get us at 888-815-9756. 888-815-9756. If you're calling us from the United States, we also have a toll-free line there, 877-876-5227. That's 877-876-5227. Yes, Claudia, what question were you referring to that we received?
I'm referring to a question of Dennis, U.S. He is speaking about a problem of procrastination.
Yes.
This is a universal problem.
This could have been me writing this one, actually, but this question of procrastination, he says, he's hoping that you'll be able to talk a little bit on one of my specific problems, he says, which is procrastination and just avoiding doing things that might lead to bettering myself and my life. For example, not calling a prospective client when I know that the products I sell can help them eliminate their debt, reduce their stress, and help them on a path to a bountiful retirement. This would allow me to make some money, but I delay calling, and I just can't figure out why I'm doing this to myself. Can we look at this trilogically, please?
Yes. Procrastination, Richard, is one of the best practical examples of inversion, psychological inversion, that Kepi discovered in his clinical practice that is present in all human beings. And what is inversion about? Inversion is the process of, this dualism, this inner, like schizoid attitude that everybody has. We think in one way, by reason, by ethics. I know something that is good, as Dennis knows that doing this follow-up phone calls would be good for him and for his clients, essential. But he doesn't. So rationally, in his common sense, he knows he must. It's even an ethical problem. But this inner division, schizoid problem, we have another field, which is the emotional field, which includes the inverted will or distorted will. So this is the field of our emotions. So we think one way, but we emotionally are having another choice, which is not always or most of the time not good. So we have this schizoid problem. And the more we hide this inverted aspect or inverted will, the more anguished we become, the more inactive, unsuccessful we become. Like, we know that we need a diet. Sometimes we are overweight or we have some eating problem. We know that we must change, but our desire is turned to the other way round, which is most of the times to destroy, to deny, to corrupt, and I'm using strong words here because they are true. So if I drink too much, I'm corrupting my health.